Welcome to Oak Tree Stories, timeless tales rooted in India. Here you'll find gentle, thoughtful tales drawn from our rich storytelling traditions, from ancient fables and folklore to heartwarming slices of modern Indian life. Each story is carefully chosen and lovingly crafted to be age appropriate and calming, with just a touch of wonder. So come, get cozy, and let the story begin. Hi, I'm Shalini, your storyteller. And today we are traveling to the sparkling shores of Karnataka's Karavali coast, to the seaside village of Kapu, where Christmas arrives with a little bit of magic. But before we begin, it's time for our special artist shout-out. This week's special shout-out goes to Havi. Havi is a 6-year-old from Mumbai. He sent us a beautiful drawing of the sun and the moon, inspired by our story, The Sun and the Moon. And you know what his mum told us? That this is the very first time he has created art from a story he has heard. Havi, that means the world to us. Your sun and moon were full of imagination and light. Thank you for sharing them. If you'd like to see Havi's artwork, then visit our Instagram and Facebook pages. And if you would like to send in your art too and receive a special shout out from us, then listen on till the end to know exactly how to send in your artwork. Alright, now find a cozy spot, take a deep breath, and let's go to Kapu, where a lighthouse, a storm, and a brave girl are about to discover a Christmas miracle. On the shimmering Karavali coast of Karnataka, in the seaside village of Kapu, Christmas was a festival of light. Fishermen hung lanterns on their boats. Children decorated coconut trees with seashells. And every year, the village lighthouse lit a giant Christmas star on its balcony, a beacon of hope for all who lived by the sea. But there was another belief too. The children of Kapu believed that Santa used the lighthouse star to guide a sleigh as he flew over the coast. The adults just laughed and shook their heads. Santa won't come here. His reindeer don't have a license for India, they teased. But the children, they believed. They had always believed. One December, a mighty storm rolled in from the Arabian Sea. For 3 days it raged. On the third night, a huge wave struck the lighthouse, tearing the beloved Christmas star from its place and smashing it to pieces. By morning, the beach was littered with seaweed, shattered wood, and broken glass. The star's pieces lay scattered like shells after a storm. The lighthouse keeper stood at the edge of the balcony, staring down at the wreckage. "No star this year," he said sadly. "The sea has taken it." The fishermen refused to sail. Christmas felt darker than it had in years. The children whispered, "How will Santa find us now?" The adults stroked their hair gently. "Santa lives in our imaginations, little ones, not in the sky. Christmas will be here, storm or no storm." In the village lived Asha, a 10-year-old who, as a mother liked to tease, always had more courage than common sense. And that courage mattered now more than ever, for her father was still out at sea. "The lighthouse star always guided Bapai home," she said. "We must make a new one." But the adults shook their heads, gentle but tired. "There's no wood left, Asha. The sea has taken it all," one woman said. "And the winds are wild tonight," another whispered. "How could any star shine in such a storm?" Asha did not listen. Late that night, unable to sleep, she walked along the roaring shore. Her friends followed. Leela, who noticed everything, even things adults missed. Rafi, who always asked too many questions, and tiny Keshav, who ran everywhere instead of walking. As they reached the shoreline, Asha saw something glowing beneath the foam. A huge branch of driftwood, pale as moonlight, shaped almost like a star. She gasped, "The sea brought this back." Just then, a soft red streak zipped across the sky. Leela grabbed Asha's arm. Rafi's mouth fell open. Keshav clapped both hands over his face. "Did you see that?" Asha yelled. But when the adults turned towards the sky, there was nothing there. Just clouds, heavy with storm. It was lightning, the adults said. But the children, they knew better. Asha dragged the driftwood to the lighthouse. The lighthouse keeper stared. "Where did you find this?" "The sea returned it," she said. "Maybe it wants the light again." He looked at her for a long moment before nodding. Together they worked through the night. Asha tied the driftwood with coir rope. He polished it with lamp oil until it glowed faintly. They stretched white cloth across its frame until it fluttered like wings. But each time they tried to light the lamp inside, flicker, flicker, poof! The storm winds were too strong. Asha pressed her palms to the window and cried out at the sea. "If you brought this wood to me, then help me light it." A huge wave crashed against the rocks. The lighthouse shuddered from top to bottom. The villagers gasped and held each other. Inside the star, the tiny lamp fluttered, went out, and then suddenly glimmered again, as though something had brushed past it, giving it a tiny push. Asha's eyes widened. "Did you see that?" she whispered. "It's just the wind," the adults said quickly, shaking their heads. "It always plays tricks with lamps." But the children looked at one another. There was something in that little flicker, something that didn't feel like just the wind. Working together, Asha and the lighthouse keeper shielded the lamp until the flame steadied. And this time it stayed lit. The star glowed, warm and golden. Far out at sea, Asha's father saw the glow. He turned his boat. The other fishermen followed. Through the waves, through the dark, straight towards the light of Kapu. When he reached the shore, he lifted Asha into his arms. "You saved us," he said with a smile. Asha shook her head. "No, Bab, I only helped a little. Santa did the rest." The villagers gathered around them, faces warm in the star's golden glow. The wind grew gentle. The waves calmed. And for a moment, the whole world felt hushed and shining. Then, from somewhere far above the lighthouse, drifting over the sea, they heard, "Impossible! Could it be?" The adults looked around in confusion. "Is that someone's phone?" one muttered. "Or maybe church bells?" wondered another. But the children knew. Because high above the glowing star, something small and red streaked across the sky. Too quick, too bright, too magical to be anything else. Only the children saw it. Only they gasped and clutched one another's hands. "What are you staring at?" the adults asked. But the children only smiled. Wide, sparkling, secret smiles. As the jingling faded gently into the night, chiming softly over the glowing star of Kapu. And that, dear listeners, was the Christmas light of Kapu. A Christmas tale from the Karavali coast, where storms can shake the land, but courage shines brighter than any star. Maybe it was the sea, or maybe it was luck, Or maybe it was something else entirely. But the children of Kapu, they knew exactly what they saw in the sky that night. Now, if this story filled your heart with a little glow, we would love to see what it inspires you to create. Perhaps you'll draw the glowing lighthouse star, or the moment Asha found the moonlit driftwood, or maybe even the tiny red streak in the sky that only the children saw. Ask a grown-up to send your artwork to us via our website www.oaktreebooks.in/oaktreestories. We treasure every drawing, and you might just hear your name in a future artist shout-out. And grown-ups, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Oak Tree Stories. And if you'd like to support us in bringing more such stories to life, then do consider making a contribution. You can find a donation link on our website. Until next time, dear listener, may your night stay bright, your courage stay strong, and may you always keep a little space in your heart for magic.